The headers and footers on your website are actually in a different section than on your pages and posts, where you would take care of the meat of your information. Uh, so I want to show you where you can go and edit those. If you go over to where it says Avada and then you go to layouts, this is where we want to edit headers and footers. So you scroll down a little bit and there are these different sections, and this takes a little getting used to kind of figure out, where you're looking. But this is how we keep the headers and footers cohesive throughout the site. So you don't want to have to edit every single page's header and footer. You want to use a global layout so that you can just make the change one time and then not worry about it again. Now, your website has a different layout a little bit in the pages versus the posts, but all of the pages are the same and all of the posts are the same. So let's have a look at this. Let's see. So here we have your homepage, right? And then let's see. So there's two custom homepage areas. Now, this first one that we opened up, this is where your logo is. So this logo here is this logo here. These are nested columns, which means that these columns down here, that if you add them in here at the bottom, which I covered in another video, you can actually nest them instead. And so for this particular layout in the header, we found that using the nested columns aligned better in this header. So we can open that up and see what's inside. I don't totally want to get into what this is or how to edit it, but essentially this is where that email address is in your header. So you can see the email address is right here. And this is that. It's short code actually, so I might as well just talk about it. So this right here, this little icon, is the element generator. So when you have a text block like this and you need there to be an element within it, you can use this in order to stick one of these elements within the text box. It's not something that I use a lot, but there are some instances where it works better than just putting the element in there. And so that's what happened with this one. So if you were looking to change this email address, you would just come in here and change it right here. And then this is the menu. So menu right here in the header. This is where you choose which menu. So you can actually make many menus throughout your website. And sometimes that's appropriate if you have perhaps a page that's about a specific industry. Maybe you want a menu that just has to do with them. If it's a construction company, maybe you have a section that's about OSHA, or it's about well building, or something like that. Something that's it's an internal menu that makes sense where you're putting it, but it doesn't need to go in your main menu. So the global header that we're using right now, though, is using your main menu because that's the one that we want to go throughout the website on each of the pages. That's pretty much what that is. So I'm going to click out of here. This also has, I can't think of what this is. Oh yes, so this is where we actually put in your video. So that is a secondary custom homepage element. So this section right here, it's still considered part of the header. Basically everything above this half circle right here is considered part of the header, but this section is different from this section. So in here, this is where we have that rotating title. So this is where all the settings are for that. And this is where you put in the text that you want to be rotating. So sustainability is this one. And then right below that, consulting for business. That's where you edit this. Also notice that when you're using a text block, you don't actually change the font colors and things like that within this text box like you would in a Word document. You would actually edit those things within this design area here at the top. So this is where you can choose the font size. If for some reason you need a different font itself, you can change that here. You can change the color that the font is. So that's all in the design section. As far as putting in your video, it's actually really nice. There are actually elements specifically for Vimeo and for YouTube where you can see this Vimeo element is right here. If I were going to put in a new one, I would click elements, go over to design elements. I know that I wanted to use Vimeo. Click that. And this is where I would put in the URL for the video that we're using and decide on excuse me, all of the different settings, whether we wanted to autoplay, that's where this is. There are other settings that are actually within Vimeo itself, like the play settings, like if you wanted the push play, pause, all of those things, those are actually in Vimeo itself, so you would edit that there. And then of course we gave credit to your creative. So we used a text box right here. And that is that for the headers. Same thing for the articles are your blogs. So it is a different header for those. Actually, I think it's pretty much the same for the header. I know it has a different footer though, couldn't think of it. And I forget, honestly, because you kind of do this at the beginning. Where is the footer? Here somewhere. Is it a subpage? No. Homepage article. Footer. Oh, here it is. Global layout, global custom footer. Sorry. Okay, so this is where, okay, you wanted this little image for people, planet, prosperity. When you scroll down to the bottom of the page, this is what we're looking at right here. This is a menu for your privacy policy and accessibility statement. So we created a menu that's specific to the footer, and you would just set that here. And so these nested columns, this is where your email address is. So this is this. Okay. And then right below it, this is where I put the statement about your eco-friendly hosting. So that's there. And then that copyright information is actually down here at the bottom. Where is that? Oh, right, here it is. Right, if you needed to change that for some reason or change the date, maybe to 2022 or whatever you need it to be, this is where you would do that. And that is it for how to edit your headers and footers. I hope this helped. Thanks.